Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. The news didn't arrive with flashing lights or a breaking banner. It came softly, like a breath held too long, then released. On a gray morning, when the city seemed to move slower, Kelly and Mark sat side by side in their kitchen, hands wrapped around cooling mugs, listening to the hum of a refrigerator that suddenly felt too loud. They had learned the truth the night before. Outside, rain traced thin lines down the windows, turning the world into a blur of silver. Inside, the house, usually bright with laughter and overlapping stories, felt different, still, careful, as if it understood that something precious had shifted. For years, Kelly and Mark had been the picture of resilience. They knew how to smile through pressure, how to show up when cameras rolled and expectations followed. But this morning, there were no cameras, no scripts, only the quiet weight of sad news that had rearranged their hearts. It wasn't a dramatic loss that made headlines. It was the kind that sneaks up on you, the realization that a chapter you loved was ending. A long-time project they had poured themselves into had been quietly canceled. No farewell celebration, no final curtain call, just an email that said thank you and moving in a different direction. Kelly stared at the tabletop, tracing invisible circles with her finger. "I thought we'd have more time," she said, her voice steady but thin. Mark nodded. He didn't rush to fix it. He had learned that some moments didn't want solutions, they wanted company. He reached across the table, their fingers finding each other with practiced ease. "We did our best," he said. "That part doesn't disappear." They sat like that for a while, letting the sadness breathe. Memories rose uninvited, early mornings, shared jokes, late nights filled with ideas scribbled on napkins. The work had been more than work. It had been a place where they grew, stumbled, learned. Letting go felt like saying goodbye to a friend. Later, they took a walk. The rain had softened to a mist, and the sidewalk reflected the sky. People passed without recognizing the quiet moment unfolding beside them. That anonymity was a relief. Kelly tucked her scarf tighter, and Mark matched his steps to hers. "Do you remember when we started? How unsure we were?" Mark smiled, a small one. "We were scared, but we were brave anyway." They stopped at a park bench, damp and cold, and sat down. Mark pulled out his phone, then slipped it back into his pocket. Today didn't need documenting. Today needed honesty. The sad news lingered, but something else began to surface. Gratitude for the people they'd met, for the risks they'd taken, for the fact that even in disappointment, they still had each other. As afternoon light broke through the clouds, Kelly took a deep breath. "I guess endings don't mean empty," she said. "They mean space." "Space for what's next," Mark replied. When they returned home, the house felt warmer. Not because the sadness had vanished, it hadn't, but because it had been shared. And shared sadness, they knew, could soften into strength. That evening, they cooked dinner together, laughing at a burned pan, talking about small plans, a weekend trip, a book to read, a new idea to sketch. Life quietly insisting on moving forward. The shocking, sad news had revealed something tender. Even in loss, there could be grace. And in the quietest moments, love could speak the loudest.